So I'm here on Friday with another live. Okay. Yes, Suman. Hi, hi. Sorry, technical glitch happens to the best of us. I am here with Suman today. Suman, you need to keep the
Yeah.
camera. Yes, perfect. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Suman is here with me. Um, Suman is an expert in HRM, and I am here with. Just let me give me a couple of minutes to fix my camera. Something happened
Sure,
to my
sure.
camera. Yeah. So, couple of minutes, okay? Let me come on board. I am. Yeah. So okay. So someone here I am. Okay, we are all here. A lot of people joining in. Taka tak taka tak.
Great.
Suman is a friend. We met Suman. So we've just been about three months. 3 महीने होने आ रहा है,
Yeah.
right? Roughly.
Yes.
A new and yet a very powerful friendship that we have made. And she has a background in CRM, so a very strong background, very powerful communication skills I've realized over time. She is into HR. She is also on a creative side. She's into soap making and makes lovely soaps. Um, uh, and I remember showing my daughter her soaps, and because she insisted कि मैं देखूंगी आंटी के soaps, and she was like ये बहुत beautiful है. So that was what she said exactly. I haven't communicated that to her already.
Thank
She's
you.
also an avid cyclist, trekker, runner, sports person, you name it, she has it.
Oh,
My God. Seriously, Suman, that is like too much. And I have seen you with certificates and medals also. Um, so yeah, there are a lot of things you do, lot of things, and you have been inspiring me, you've been guiding me. I will be taking each of those individually, but like this month is all about journey of learning, and we do this segment by segment monthly journey of different issues on what we. So this month is all about learning, and that is why we have taken experiential learning, and you have learned throughout your journey. So I would like to ask you here, what keeps you going? You know, from CRM, from customer relationship management, which is like a lot. You know, dealing with customers, taking on their role, to HR, employee management, to something on a very creative side, to sports, which is extreme, and we will come to that as to how extreme you did go. So it's like he it's like going into all directions, and actually achieving in them, because there is an entrepreneurial part as well that we will cover. So क्या होता है, क्या कैसे कैसे it's a very natural phenomena when one would come to you and ask you, सुमन कैसे करती हो इतना तुम.
Okay. Well, my journey, if I have to talk about my journey, it all way back in 2003. I think IT and the BPO were, were the rage at that point in time. So that is, I mean, I'm from a non-IT background, and so hence I just got into a BPO, which was a rage. So I just caught it, and I too joined the bandwagon of a BPO. And that's when how I jumped into, or rather got into a customer service advisor, and did that for a couple of, I was trying to figure out like what should I do next, and that's when I got into HR, and I also got a degree PG in HR, and that kind of kept me glued into HR as such, and did that, and I also accidentally got into financial services as well. As so whatever came my way during my my career, I just took it up. I just went with the flow, and then due to childcare I had to take a career break, as well as which I did for a couple of years. And while I was on my career break, I mean, I wanted to do something, gain some knowledge, some develop some hobby as such. And that is when I, got into soap making. And then regarding sports, I've always been an active person. And considering now, the certain health conditions, so you need to keep yourself fit and active. So I've been into various sports, as you said, from running to swimming, trekking, whatnot. And, since the lockdown, there was absolutely no option for anything, be it gym, or everything was shut. And that's when all I had was luckily my son's cycle. And I just took that and started cycling. So that's been my journey so far. And I mean, we just started off with a kilometer, and now I do about like 25 kilometers per day. And I've been part of virtual marathons. So planning to, once everything settles down and once things are fine back to normal, probably, I would like to do a real marathon as such. Yeah, participate in one.
Wow. 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 So, I mean, here, what is very important for me to kind of take away right now is that even when you went with the flow initially, you kind of dabbled with a lot of options and you kind of picked up, so finance, customer relation, and now you're into HR, right?
Yep.
As you're looking into HR as a full time option, and then you've been doing HR. So how did that come about in terms of and what has kept you? So there's a never die attitude. You never say give up attitude. You're tuck tuck tuck. ये भी कर लिया ठको ये भी कर लिया. What has kind of led you on to it? What background में mindset में क्या चलता है?
See, I'm somebody who's very curious, and I observe a lot. So I mean, anything might inspire me. Like anything and everything inspires me. I would say that rather. So a friend of mine was into soaping, so that's how I was inspired. Getting into soaping as such. So when you're curious about learning things, I think you automatically. For me, it's like anything that I take up, be it small or big. I do not believe in leaving it midway. So it has to be completed, hook or crook. So I go through my struggle of learning and various challenges, but I ensure that I complete it. And I think that is what keeps me going. And like they say, learning is not a journey; it's a destination. So, and I strongly believe in that. And that is, and I also, I just jump at any of the opportunity that's come my way. I've just caught it, and I mean, I've just gone with the flow, and luckily, it has helped me.
It does, because when you go with the flow, you kind of keep picking things up with of observation. That's very true for you. Which brings me about to the next question about learning itself. You kind of epitomize learning by doing, because you get into it, you try something out, and then you realize कि हाँ ये करना चाहिए. And nowadays, a lot of people have been kind of dabble with that issue as well. कि should we first learn, or should we kind of first learn the theory of it, or then try and do it, or get into actually doing it first. So how did you go, and what is your kind of feel about it? How was your experience with it? You understand, right?
Okay, yeah. See, for me, it's always been hands-on. Be it anything, for me, it's more of, touch and feel. Just the theory does not work for me. I cannot do the rote learning. I cannot mug up things. For me, it has to, until unless I do it, couple of times I practice it. I don't get it. So it has to be registered in my brain, and it's only when I work on it, when I do more and more, it's when I get. So for me, hands-on is a must. And but luckily, like I mean, back then in our days, it was more of rote learning. You need to mug up, and probably at that point in time, maybe I was good at it. But now I just can't. I'm more of a hands-on person than a theory person now. And these generation, I feel they are so blessed. They get into internship right after their college, and like as I remember, when I started off. those accent training or be it anything. So they were all like, very alien, and had my own struggles. But now it's much easy. It's, they have a lot of information and they get into internship, so which helps them. They're already exposed, how the future is, how the corporate or any work life would be as such. So that way, I believe hands-on is more important. I mean,
Yeah,
it basically it goes hand in hand. Yeah.
it kind of puts a stage, थोड़ा तैयारी करवा देता है. Correct,
Yes.
correct, right, correct. So you're also doing, you mentioned you've also done some HR certification, and in our discussions you also said that you are certified in psychology, you with counseling, and now you're also doing your psychology course and certification. So how does that fit in, and how is that helping you right now?
See, while I took my career break and while I was trying my luck at entrepreneurship into my soap making and lip balm and various things, after a certain point of time, I'm somebody, as I said, I'm very curious. So for me, I have to keep doing something. So I keep looking out for things. So that's but whatever I do stick on at least for a couple of years. So when I wanted to get back to the corporate as such, so I had to upskill myself, and that's when I got myself certified as an HR analyst and did a couple of course. And that's kind of helped me sail through the pandemic, the lockdown, as well as yeah. And psychology, it goes hand in hand with with being an HR. It does help. And there's also a personal story behind it. I was into depression couple of years back, and so I know, what it is, the struggle that I went through. And there are many people out there, who needs help, and probably, me doing this will help me in a better way to connect, in a very professional way, as in I'll have a better understanding as such, which will also help me in my counseling. So this is the reason I took up psychology.
Which makes a lot of sense, because once person is coming up from a very personal background or personal level, it kind of, it's easier to relate. Uh,
Yes.
it's easier to relate. So has that been your experience at any point of time when it comes to relating personal issues?
Yes, yes, definitely. I mean, whatever you do, I mean, at least depression is something, since the pandemic, there are millions and zillions of people out there, who are into depression. And, unfortunately, there are like various mediums, but people, there's still that stigma, but the people are coming out, but still, there aren't, I mean, opening up as such. So like among my friends or family, anybody, it's not necessary it has to be, counseling type, but at least just give them a year, and I think that would be more than enough.
Correct, absolutely. That is what I think what is needed right now, when people just want to talk, need a sounding board, and they can talk it
Yeah,
all.
somebody to
And
listen to. Yes.
correct, absolutely. I'm very interested with, and I also mentioned in the beginning about your soap making experience, and tell us more about it, because see, this is not just a creative side; it has a very so you've not just utilized your time during break for just child care, so which is a very important part of your being, but you also used it to kind of learn a new skill, and also you mentioned that you did it as a bit for using as an entrepreneur. So you got your first order as well. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, see, as I said, while I was on a break, I wanted to learn something new, and that's when I happened to see a friend of mine who had just got into soap making as such, and she would post those lovely, beautiful pictures on Instagram, Facebook, and I was like very curious, like, what is she doing? What is she up to? And I approached her, and she was really kind enough. I mean, these days nobody shares your secrets as such, your business secrets. But she was more than helpful. She said like, "Come on, Suman, fine, I'll teach you." And that's how I learned it. I mean, it did take me time to formulate things and come up with a beautiful soap as such. There was a lot of wastage initially, but and it's a very a niche product, and handmade soaps are niche, and as well it's a because it's a niche product, it is expensive. So the market is, I mean, the awareness is little low on it as such. So like whatever I could, I did try out, like, within family and friends. In fact, I would never leave my in-laws also, I would take money from them also, like, whatever I would, so because the raw materials are so expensive, because and I also had, like, me and my son had dry skin. So we like figuring out, like, what to do as such. And soap is something, I'm not like boasting about my product, but the moment you use it, I don't think you would need a moisturizer as well, because it's all natural. So that way it helped personally and as well as professionally, and that's how we are. And people are, like, I have helped other people, one or two have trained them as well as in soap making. Yeah, that's something, I am really proud of, that which I started off as a hobby, and which is a skill which probably, if I don't know anything, probably I could still do that and carry on.
I think you are then underselling yourself by saying you should not boast it. You should by all means boast it. You should put, and that is why I was asking you one day, do you have Instagram photos of it or anywhere posted it? I don't think so. You should. So you
No,
better
no,
get on with
I
it
should, yeah, I should, yeah. Yeah,
because
but
you
not
need
a
to
soaping
see.
sabbatical. Yeah.
Yes, yes. But you should still. I do have your photographs of the ones that you send us, which look like cake more than eating lemon sauce, which is very tasty.
Yes,
Not
true.
tasty because I haven't had them, but but you were mentioning about the chocolate stuff, and yes, you said you have also provided some for some marriage or something, right?
Yes, yes, that was my very first order, and I mean that a lot of struggle went behind it. I think the whole family were involved in packing, because these soaps, because these are handmade soaps, and there are like two variants. There's something called as cold press soaps, and as well as those the regular what do they call, melt and pour soaps. Yeah, which I do not, because I formulate my own soaps from the scratch. So it, for the curing everything, it takes about like a month. So there was a lot. Every day I had to make soaps. I mean, it was like a small mini factory at home those days.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. That must be, the good family involvement happening. See, that
Oh yes.
that
You
itself
need
is
that
a
support.
good,
Yeah.
yeah, that is a good learning for everyone, because any venture that you take place is can never be a individual thing. It has to be a joint effort, and people have
Yes.
to come
Certainly.
together. Wow, that's. I mean, everybody. I think all claps to your the entire family that you have. I mean, hats off to them. Now about your cycling journey, something that personally you have been trying to get me on to. So you have been trying to motivate me. You have been a runner, cycling, and you did not even sit back as I did during pandemic. So you kind of further motivated yourself to go to 50 kilometers per day. Per day.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And you found ways and lakes in Bangalore, which
Oh yes, I mean that journey was. I mean, again, as I said, like I said, I always somebody inspires me to do. I have a friend. See, I was into Zumba and yeah, various gymming and all that. So pandemic happened, and I tried something doing at home as well as watching those videos, but that unfortunately did not work out. So that's when a friend of mine was into cycling. She said, "Okay, come, let's tag along," and she would just go the same route, comfortable route. And when I joined her, I'm like somebody who explores, so we just started. See, the moment I say 50 kilometers, like you're way away from Bangalore. So there's like zillions of places we didn't know. There's so many forests, lakes, whatnot, small villages. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, since a month, sorry, since almost a year now, close to a year, it's really been nice. It's been an awesome journey, checking various things. And I mean, I'm trying to, I've inspired my husband as well as now, so he's also into kind of getting into cycling as such. So it's a nice journey. See, the thing is, once it's not only about your fitness. It overall it helps you in your the overall your well-being. And not just that, I mean, yeah, physically, mentally, it has helped me. And it also, got me into a discipline where I sleep on time, I'm conscious of what I eat. I've changed my the eating pattern. I'm more into less into carbs, more into proteins. And so there's a lot of discipline. I get up at 4 and come in, 6 o'clock I have to push out. So it's been an inspiring journey, and I'm like, I'm proud of it. Yeah.
You should be proud of it. I see you are definitely a very motivating and inspiring person. Isn't it? You said soap making, you said, cycling, and wow, I'm actually amazed so much. You really understand yourself and you do not post of anything because none of it goes in your Instagram pages, your LinkedIn pages, your Facebook pages. If there is anybody else, they would be actually pasting everything up on their, they would be making YouTube videos about it, but you don't do any of that, right?
Yeah,
You should
I
be
know.
doing that.
Yeah,
You
I
have
should be. I should be.
you
Yeah,
have
probably,
to.
I get you are inspiring me to, learn something new and start working on this. So probably I should, and I think probably will connect on this as well as.
You should be doing that. You should be actually inspiring a lot of women out there and children and youngsters. You are an inspiration yourself. Okay, now coming back to something which is something that I find, and I've been personally, and this comes back to our own of HR, is pandemic हो गया, चीजें वापस आ रही हैं. We have been talking about it even while discussing generally. But there is a lot of things which aren't happening, which people have lost their jobs. Even people who are in the
Yes.
jobs are worried. Corporates, industries. Now, what is it that they'll be facing? It. What are the challenges that they'll be put against? What do you think that people should be preparing for mentally and generally at every level? What is
Yeah, like we've always had a discussion. See, there's a lot of ambiguity, not just from an employee perspective, also from an employer perspective, as well as that there's a lot of changes. The whole process of recruitment has changed. Everything is online now. There's a lot of people who have lost jobs as well as. So it's I mean, from market per se, also it's very difficult, for somebody to get back. In fact, I myself have been lookout for a job as well as. But the thing is, yes, it has its own challenges. Yeah, pandemic has gotten a lot of challenges. Somebody who has to get back now. It's all to do with networking. So which all this while I was also bad at, rather I did not believe in it. So now I realize the importance of networking. So you need to be connected to people, and luckily, unlike past, now people are more empathetic. They understand because there are not just one or two, so there are like a lot of people, so they're open to help each other now. Unlike before, is what I feel. Even the companies are more considerate now. They're more flexible now, not only in terms of just the work from home per se, in terms of the timings, their policies. There's a lot of changes, and they have also been a lot of organizations have also been helping. And it's also like people as in be it your friend circles or anywhere, so they are more approachable now. And another thing is upskilling and reskilling is a must. So now it's all about technology, be it HR, and that's the reason I too took up HR analytics. So it's going to be more of data driven henceforth. And so I think we need to be strong in that aspect. Yeah, be it IT or non-IT, anything. It's all going to be data.
because I think that is one thing which will be जो दिखता है वही बिकता है tax. Unfortunately that is the truth at the end of the day. So you have to kind of, and people with so much distance between them, given that small monitor that we have even right now what we are doing, yes, so we will need some ways to kind of have data to process that information and work best with that. I completely agree on that. See, and what about people, and what is it that though we've discussed on a very emotional level, what is that input that you would give to people who have lost their jobs or are in the jobs for that matter? That emotional piece, that that how do they kind of sustain themselves or make themselves right frame of mind. Like, you're also doing your masters in psychology, and though even we have discussed some bit of it in during one of the questions earlier, but then what is it that you will probably give to them?
See, I think, when I say like, I mean, what has helped me as well as is you need to be, when I say fitness, it's not just about your physical fitness. It also deals with your emotional well-being. So, people have to, they need to be, they should start thinking about themselves as in, see, it's not just, you will get it, have patience, work on it, work on your whatever skills it's required. You need to spend, you will have to do it to upskill, you need to do that. And being, keeping yourself fit physically, mentally, which is like easy, it's in your hands. And like, reach out to people, I mean, talk to people. I always feel, communication is very important. And people are approachable. Ye nahi to koi aur, like, there are zillions of people. So like, just go talk, beat anything. It's not just work or like anything that you want to go express, talk to them, share like what's happening in your life or like whatever you're going through, so that people will help you. Like I said the other time, it's all about networking. So aaj nahi to kal milega, but you just have to, and I strongly believe that, that the small steps, you will have to take those small steps, you will get there, but just that patience is is important.
Very true. I completely agree. Those small steps are very crucial, and you have to keep taking them and not leave them even when you feel very low and saying, "Ki nahi yaar, bas,"
Yes, certainly, yes.
because
It's
there will be
easy to
days.
lose track, but yeah, it's easy to lose track, and it's easy, to give up. But yeah, it's okay. One day, 2 day, you give up, no issue. But the third day, just get up, keep going, do whatever it's required. But yeah, try your best.
And just keep
I mean, it
going
also
because
applies to me. I mean, it's
all of
easy
us,
said
all
than
of us,
done.
because yes, absolutely, because it doesn't happen that you kind of keep going. You just kind of go like that. It does
Yes,
happen. True, and that is what we require. And this is, I think, also true for the youngsters, which are the most stressed out. From the 80s, 18 to 33 or 35 age group, people who are more stressed out, who are kind of lost right now in terms of isolation and stuff. So, उनके लिए भी ये बहुत जरूरी होगा, right? Um,
definitely.
one
See, I
of
think
the
this generation, they're more into, they're more into virtual. So they need to come out. When I say come out, as in, they need to talk. I mean, like I said that time also, they just need to communicate. It's so, there are people who can understand. If you feel, your friends, families are not able to understand, give you the kind of support they need, they seek professional help. There are like people who are, who are ready to help, and it could be through any medium. And they are more, it could be over a call or a text. I mean, they are very good at texting, so it's much easy through a text for them. So it's like, there are various ways, but I think they need to be connected. They need to talk. I think if they talk, I mean, everything will settle, is what I feel.
Absolutely. I am completely on board that if there is something on troubling you, and if you are unable to communicate with your immediate loved ones, seek professional help. Talk to your loved ones about seeking professional help, because नहीं चलेगा अगर बात नहीं करोगे. As simple as that.
Yes.
Well, which actually brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Suman. You were lovely, splendid, spectacular, and it was a very lively discussion. I have learned a lot from you. You better get yourself on Instagram, and you have so much to share, and you have so much to learn from you. So please share your soaps and your cycling adventures, so that I can get motivated. You have been trying your level best. I am going to go for a walk after this.
Great. Yes. That would be, icing on the cake. Yeah. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to express, and yeah, it was a nice conversation. Yes.
So it
Thank you.
was, thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much everyone for joining in. Shino says you are inspiring, you are. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. Shino, Suman is definitely super inspiring, and it is wonderful to have you here. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you everyone who is listening
Thank
to
you.
it. And okay, I will log out and we'll come back again with a super session. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.
All the best.